Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astroguide Mysore. So today let us understand the transit of Saturn in the sign of Pisces. So we all know that Saturn has already transited into Pisces. There has been an exchange of transits, that is Rahu has transited towards Aquarius and Saturn has transited within Pisces. So the whole of 2.5 years, what Saturn will take to transit over Pisces, there will be several different types of results what normally natives will go through. That is, natives are those people who are having the chart and different varieties of ups and downs people will see in the transit. So Saturn's transit, sorry. Okay. So this is for all the 12 rashis, that is all the 12 signs. And this is not extremely specific. This is more of a generalistic view because here we are not seeing whether the Saturn's position in the chart is a Yogakaraka's position or it's a malefic position, whether Saturn is placed in the 6th house or the 12th house. We are not talking about the placement of Saturn, but general perspective of transit for each Rashi. Rashi here means all the three to be taken: the body, mind, and the soul, the Lagna, moon, and the sun. So, mostly people take these transits from the ascendant or the moon because the confidence, the soul, the elevation, the path towards moksha, all these things are not given much importance nowadays. People want more, whether you get a house, you get a car, you're able to pay the loan, you are either going to encash from the property or you're going to go through an legal battle or what is that, what is this, all sorts of materialistic manifestations, emotional problems, whether I'll be going through a divorce, whether this marriage will happen or not, whether my love will settle or not. These things are more important in the Kali Yuga rather than worried about whether I'll get a great elevation in life, spiritual elevation. I keep getting calls and people will be asking me about whether they will get spiritually motivated or not, or when is the time that they will get into spiritual elevation towards a good path of life. But mostly it is towards the materialistic part or the physical part. So let me go through each Rashi one by one. So when I tell Rashi or sign, that means if I tell Aries, for Aries, the transit of Saturn. If I tell that, that means either the ascendant or moon is placed in the sign of Aries. So I have written down certain bullet points here. For every sign, we have prepared 3 points. My wife has done an extensive work for this. It has taken days together to do this. So after doing this, we have sat and done the research on how actually it will manifest or whether these points have to be taken. So coming to only 3 points now. So that means 3 most important points. The Saturn's transit for the sign of Aries, as Saturn is the 10th lord and the 11th lord, it's a neutral planet. It's not called as a malefic to the sign, not to its lord, to that sign. So, though people will be telling that no, sir, 10th house is a Kendra Sthana and it is an inimical sign for the house of Aries, but 10th house is also Upachaya Sthana, being the 3rd, the 6th, the 10th and the 11th. These houses are Upachaya Sthanas, and the utmost Karaka, the number one Karaka for Upachaya Sthana is Saturn. The second most important Karaka for Upachaya Sthana is Sun. The third most important Karaka is Rahu. and the fourth most important Karaka is Mars. So these strong malefics, they are all having the significations in the Upachaya Sthanas. Growth, the house of growth. So both these houses, the lordship is Saturn and it is a Upachaya Sthanadipati, that is the house of growth. So change in job or relocation is seen in job because of forced circumstances. Change in job can also be seen because of a loss in job, or change in job can be seen because there is a forced implication, or there is a forced transfer, or you know they are downsizing the company, something like that. Unwanted expenses or sudden expenses are seen. This is the first period of Sadesati. That means Sadesati happens when Saturn is on either side of the Rashi, 1, 2, and 3. All these three houses, when Saturn is moving around, Aries will have Sadesati. Sadesati is the period in which Saturn will be giving you 7.5 years of different kinds of various kinds of results. So, unwanted expenses, and since it is the 12th house where Saturn is transiting, there might be disturbance in sleep. So, sleep disturbance can give rise to a lot of health issues, and these health issues can again become another point of stress. So, it's very hot here, and I'm not using the fan because it disturbs. So, going to Taurus, the 9th and the 10th Lord being the Yogakaraka is transiting in the 11th house. 9th and the 10th Lord Saturn being the Yogakaraka is transiting the 11th house. Gains of finance, receiving money which was stuck somewhere in your investment that you could not realize that money and you will be receiving it now. Wealth from forefathers or father, that is, you will be able to get the ancestral properties wealth. That means the property might have come, but you will be realizing the money out of it. That is, I think the property will get sold or it will get transferred from one hand to another hand, and the person would be compensating you with good wealth in this particular period of time. So, how is that seen? Let us see. One small things in between. The 8th Lord, the 9th Lord are Jupiter and Saturn for this particular sign of Taurus. Saturn is sitting in Jupiter's house or transiting over the Jupiter's house, and it is in the 11th house, the house of profit. So, the 8th Lord's dispositor, the dispositor of Saturn is the 8th Lord, and if it is well posited in the chart, the person can get good money from ancestral property in this period of time. Progress of children, good news from them, and there is another point here which is very important, that a person can go through health problems, particularly leg pains and disorders of digestion. So, going to Gemini, the 8th and the 9th Lord transiting in the 10th house. For Gemini, this is a sort of a neutral planet. It is not that it is a great yoga karaka for Gemini. So, progress in business, as I have written, the business, progress in business, though it is slow, promotion is seen in the job, and with little delay, things will work. So, a clear message what she has given here is, do not leave your job in this period of time. For all these Gemini guys, don't leave your job before having a job on hand. Simply just jumping because you feel that your boss is not good to you might end up into problems. So, renovation of house, moving into a new house, or you're moving into a new place or a rented place so that you will get your old house demolished and rebuilt. All these things can happen in this period of time. Very busy and stressful environment at home, and it would also be not because of mismanagement of the household or not because of any misunderstanding between the couple or the family. It might be because there is too much of workload and stress because of workload. Let us go to Cancer. The sign of Cancer, if the ascendant or moon is posited there, Saturn becomes the seventh and the eighth lord, transiting over the ninth house, and Saturn is a malefic planet here, and it is placed on the ninth house, the house represented by the house which represents the father of the native. So that is why first point is the health of the father is of concern. Marital discord is also seen because it is the seventh lord transiting the ninth house, because the ninth house usually says that it is the one which promotes or initiates a second marriage. So the seventh house is the first marriage. When the seventh lord goes to the second house, usually it is seen that the lord itself, the seventh lord itself, will dislodge the first marriage to make way to the second marriage. This is a very tough situation. So please handle situations properly. So wasteful travels and hectic travels are also seen. So because of heavy load of work. So going to Leo, wasteful travels and expenses. I think I just went into Gemini. So wasteful travels and expenses are seen for Cancer. So going to Leo, the sixth and the seventh lord transiting the eighth house, which is a malefic planet once again for Leo, Saturn. So tough time, stressful situations, marital discord, divorce like situation, or separation due to work distances. That is, you'll suddenly get a job somewhere very far away. Let's say a person staying in Hyderabad would be getting a job in Noida. He'll not be able to take his family because the expenses are too high in Noida. Hyderabad is more cheaper when compared to Noida. So, with regard to many other things, but Hyderabad also is a very costly city nowadays. So, because there might be two people, one Noida guy and an Hyderabad guy, now sitting on the forum and discussing about what is costly and what is cheap. Just a way of saying. So, tough. Separation from family is seen because of job prospects, not because of any marital discord. This also is there, but that is not the only thing which can happen. Good for students who are in research field. There might be conflicts of students with their own seniors. So, and problems in business venture. Very important, this point is problems in business venture, because the seventh lord, being the seventh lord for Leo, it has gone to the eighth house, which shows that there might be problems of capital getting stuck, and person going to the bank, going for an overdraft, difficult situations. So fifth and sixth lord for Virgo, transiting in the seventh house. The Upachaya Sthanadipatis, when they go into the seventh house, they give growth. But the sixth lord, Saturn being the sixth lord, is a great lord for Virgo in certain situations of competitiveness and success. Being the fifth lord also is a good thing, that it is shifting three houses, 5, 6, 7. So here, the fifth lord going to the seventh house gives good results in certain areas of life. Good for students who can change place or country for studies. And that's why I have written travel for education, and they can get admissions in good prestigious colleges. Unpleasant environment in family life and cold atmosphere. Very important to understand that when Saturn sits in the seventh house, or the third house, silence prevails. It's a very dangerous thing when it is silent. both have agreed to disagree. That's very important to understand that marital discords start from here, and then when it is just about to move into the eighth house, it might do something bad to the marriage. So do not get into unnecessary silence. You want to argue, but don't fight, but see that the argument is healthy. But keeping silent with your spouse might unnecessarily keep a matter unsolved, and it will be like you have proved something, and the other one also feels that your partner feels that she has proved something or he has proved something. So be a little skeptical about getting into unnecessary silence. So lot of hard work. Yeah, I think I am skipping from Virgo to unnecessarily to Libra. Okay. Unpleasant environment in family life and cold atmosphere. I think I was here. Travel plans. So there are a lot of travel plans seen for people who are, born with the sign of Virgo. So for Libra, it is the fourth and the fifth lord, an excellent yoga karaka, and transiting the sixth house, one of the best transits for Libra. So good time for growth, progress, mostly in career, job, and business. Lot of hard work, but would yield positive results. That's what I have written. So health is to be monitored because of hard work. That does not mean that you do not have time to take care of yourself. Sleep can again get disturbed because of too much of work. And do not get into any sort of indulgence for Librans, particularly. So the third and the fourth lord for Scorpio transiting the fifth house is also an excellent planet because it is the Sukhasthanadipati, the fourth. Sukhasthanadipati, 1, 2, 3, 4. So Sukhasthanadipati transiting the fifth house. Fourth is progressively transiting in the second from the fourth. Third is transiting in the third from the third. Beautiful transit for Scorpio. But because in the natural way it is a malefic, Saturn is malefic, but a neutral planet for Scorpio, it will be giving some financial gains. Discipline in studies and consistency will give excellent position for the native. And if a person has a good routine in life, he will attain good positions and status in life. So let us go into Sagittarius. For Sagittarius, this is the Dhanasthana Adipati and Vikramasthana Adipati, or we call it as the house of courage. And it is transiting in Sukhasthana, the fourth house, where it gives you materialistic benefits. So here, though Saturn is a neutral planet for Sagittarius, and the transit in over the Sukhasthana won't be that great for the family's happiness in life. Why? Because so many expectations will have a time limit, and if you don't buy it or provide it within that time, you will go through tension. Like, for example, I will tell you, if there is an admission for your daughter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your daughter, and it is in the 12th, and the admission procedures don't go properly and it goes in a delay, the whole family is at unrest. They are all tensed as to where she will go and end up, in which college she will study. So these types of small family matters can give family tensions for Sagittarius. So mother's health, because it is in the fourth house, yes, it will give problems to the mother's health, so it has to be monitored. Responsibilities would increase. This is the first point which I have written, because a lot of family responsibilities would increase in this particular period of time. Good career growth, but with a lot of challenges and hard work. Saturn means hard work, boss. Please don't take Saturn so easily, but don't take Saturn as a deadly planet which will, unnecessarily inflict fear into you. No, Saturn is a good planet in the sense that it is the only planet which will try to set you right. Now, you don't want to get set right, then it will set you right forcibly. It will not ask you, you have to straighten up, or it will make its job in a, it will put a vice tight and then make you straight. So it would be a good progressive change for people who are born under Capricorn. Capricorn, it's the Lagnadipati transiting in the third house. This is the number one transit as on date for Capricorn. Upachayasthana, beautiful placement for Capricorn. And Capricorn people are also having the second house Rahu, which is going to transit over its own nakshatra, Shatapisha nakshatra. So Capricorn people will have a good gala time this year, and they will make a lot of wealth, progress, new friends, new travels, etc. So let us go into this. It would be a good progressive change. Earnings would improve. Difficulty within the family would solve. That means the pending difficulties will solve. There will be clarity in family life, and travel because of studies or on-site deployment. This is, people don't like on-site deployment nowadays. They have got used to offline, and that is online working, and because of the corona, people have got adjusted to happily staying at home. But here there is a chance that they will get travel, and they will have to settle on site, and even projects abroad. So that is seen, and this is a good transit. So going to Aquarius, the first and the 12th lord, it becomes the 12th lord and the Lagnadipati itself for Aquarius, and it is transiting in the second house in the sign of Pisces. So we have one beautiful thing to say here. So this is pause, think, and then speak. PTS, because it is sitting on the tongue. So please, people who are born in the sign of Aquarius, do not suddenly react, respond, or jump into any conclusions, because Saturn in the second house. Take your time, take your patience, and things will get going. So unnecessarily you can get into situations where you will be arguing, and you will not be able to take back what you have said. Once said is always said. Though nobody makes a record of it always, but it goes into their mind and the perspective changes. Once the perspective changes, very difficult to pull it back into normalcy. So the last phase of Sadesati for those people who are in Aquarius, Sadesati usually does not trouble Aquarius and Capricorn because it is the Lagnadipati. But in certain cases, when in the ascendant, in the natal chart itself, Saturn is precariously posited, Sadesati can give problems. So family responsibilities might increase due to sudden incidents. Maybe it's a tough incident, hospitalization of parents might happen, or it's also because that you have to take the charge of family responsibilities in this period of time. So there is some travel or displacement seen, and that is why I have written change of base and lifestyle. It can happen. So Pisces Janma Shani is running, that is Shani, that is Saturn is sitting over Pisces and transiting over it. So being the 11th and the 12th lord transiting over the first house, it is a malefic, but it is a neutral and a malefic. So being the 11th and the 12th lord. So this period would not be much active. It will be like things should be taken and kept status quo. So it would be dull, slow, and boring sometimes. But do not leave your job and try to do business in this period. It would not give great, profits. So the best thing to do would be to keep whatever you have and do whatever you are doing. Keep that particular pace for the next 2 years, and Pisces will be able to come out of this heavy load of Saturn's transit. So this period would not be much of activity. It will be slow, dull, and lethargic period. Health would be needing attention because lethargy can give difficulties to health. Short travels are seen, religious and also work related. So that's why I have put the word pilgrimage. So lot of emotional stress is there here. So you need to be very, very careful, unnecessarily not going into depression. Some cases there might be therapy required. So thank you very much for this long session. Yeah.
Mention the sign names. Everybody will not know.
Oh, okay. Okay, because this is the South Indian chart and people have some problem with regard to understanding the South Indian chart. Okay, she wanted me to mention the names. This is Aries, this is Taurus, and this is Gemini, this is Cancer, Leo, this is Virgo, we have Libra here, Scorpio, we have Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and then comes Pisces.
Also, please mention the aspects where it will be aspected from there.
Saturn transiting to Saturn from this particular position will be aspecting the third sign, the seventh sign, that is Virgo, third sign is Taurus, and then the 10th, which is Sagittarius. So thank you very much for this session. Thank you.
Just please come to side if you want.